Welcome to Tom Girl, where we talk all things sports, entertainment, fashion, and adventure. On today's show, we're talking to a woman who went from basketball player to international fashion model. Welcome to the show, Amber Wang.
Hi, Aaron. This is Amber. Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Amber. I'm so excited to talk to you.
I'm so excited. Yes.
So you've had an amazing career already at such a young age, just modeling in all the major fashion publications out there. And I want to dive into all of that. But first, I want to talk about your early start because you began as a very competitive basketball player. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so when I was, that is kind of like a love story. So when I was, I think, elementary school student, I kind of like fall in love with a little boy, and he's really good at playing basketball. So I was starting play basketball when I was elementary school, like first grade. And then I was playing again, play for like 6 or 7 years until when I was in middle school. And then I was just joining the competition. And then just one day I won the championship. And then somehow I was like playing better than the boy that I was loving. And I think that's not a love story, and then motivate you to that career. And then suddenly you just get it.
Yes. That's great. So that young boy really pushed you to be competitive and beat him and made you into like a great basketball player.
Yeah, sometimes just like you want to play with him, and then sometimes you're just better than him. Like that.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah, but it's good. Yeah.
So how did you now transition into, let's talk about your early start when you first got into modeling.
Yeah, so the first time I was in modeling is when in the United States, and I was walking to the mall with one of my friends. And then suddenly like there's an agent called Bazaar that is for the kids models. And then they wanted me become a model. In the beginning, I thought they're just joking. Later on, I searched them, they're like serious. But in that time, I was like still study. I was like, I can't just go there and just, but from that time, I was studying, thinking about, modeling maybe is an option, something I can try it. So after that, I probably like taking some pictures, and then it's just where to start it. And then step by step, like to now.
Mm-hmm. And then one of your early shoots was with Wilhelmina, and is for a sports shoe. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh yeah, that is really nice. So first time I was working them, and they sent me the photographers and to try this sports shoe, and then it goes up like really nice. And it is like so amazing. And I remember that is like during the winter, and we're shooting the summer things. But it's surprisingly not that cold. So I was kind of lucky in that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What was the setup like?
Oh, it's like during the winter, because sometimes like you're shooting like no matter what the weather is. And then we're shooting about sports thing like just yoga or some like sports running thing. And I was doing this running and this jumping. It's kind of like, so they're looking for athletic models, and then I was told them like I was playing basketball. They wanted to show the thing, but then basketball part kind of hard to find it, maybe the thing. So more like sports. So I think it's good started.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then how did your career evolve from there to where all of a sudden within like 2 years you were in over 30 different magazines?
Yes, I actually did a lot of things during the COVID, because during the COVID, you can't like completely shut down. You can't go anywhere. So it turned out to just take a lot of pictures. And in the beginning, I'll take picture with my friends, and then they submit to the different magazine. So I really like from the small magazine, like the magazine that's no name, to the bigger. So I think I was taking the picture every weekend, like through the whole COVID thing, like nonstop, or even sometimes took during a week, and actually work a lot. And from a small step, and then the Harper Bazaars is like, I think the good like stage and journey to see how that improved. Yes.
Yeah. Then how does it feel to see yourself on the cover of these, major magazines, which are many models like dreams to get a cover like that? What does that feel like?
Actually feels most excited the first cover. I think that's on like a small magazine called Pom and PUMP, and that's my first cover. From that, and I feel wow, that's so amazing. And then after that cover, you got another cover. I feel the first cover is hardest. It's just like the first cover, and there's more people notice you, and then they want to reach out, and then you get another one. And the second like stage that changed is the Harper Bazaar's covers, and that one is just like so different. It's like actually the big. I was shooting with a photographer called George Dua. I think he the photographer that got me, and he told me that you were like the muse that for the photos that I'm looking for this face. And then in the beginning I was like shocked, like really. And then after that is just they really love the pictures and it goes so amazing. And that is just like, oh my god, that changed my life.
Yeah.
Like that, yes.
You have so many, just looking through all your portfolio, just gorgeous, beautiful photos. Amazing.
And every time like when I shoot something is they change me to the completely style. Like this time is like classic, next time become rock star, and then next time you become like 80s. So like I feel like the model is like they're not defined with style, they can be like any style. And I think that's also the fun part about like modeling. Yes.
Yeah. When you get in shoots like that, since they're varied, how do you change? Like, do you have a different attitude or thoughts that you're going through your head when you're playing like a rock star versus like a higher end fashion shoot?
Yes, that the skill is actually I learned from the Coco Rocha model camp. So she is the pose queen, and she have a book called Thousands of Pose. So after I done her class, I was like to practice the pose at home, like every day, something like really funny pose, and then you have this muscle memory. So when you actually go to the a camera and a shooting, your body already know how to pose, and you have the image in your head, like how the picture will goes. I think that like really helps. Mm-hmm.
What are other things that you do to prepare for a shoot?
Yeah, the prepare is the pose important, and also the face expression. And when I started, so I usually when I take the bigger magazine, I usually wake up like 4:45 because I need to get there at 7. And then it's probably a long drive. You don't want any traffic. I usually like arrive 30 minutes before when I started, so I can just make sure everything won't like wrong or something. And then they start with hair or makeup and a lot of things.
Mhm.
Yes.
You just mentioned Coco Rocha was a good like mentor for you and inspiring you in your career. Are there any other people that you look to or where you got inspiration from?
Yeah, Coco Rocha is one of this, and also the George Dua, which is my photographer. He is like also a mentor to me because sometimes he has been shooting a lot of like a big magazine and other model. So he will give me some advice, like what some like good hair looks good on you. So before I was met him, I was a really long hair, and later on he told me, how about just like try to cut your hair to see how it goes. And then I was trying, why not? And then it's like I'm really short and but it feels so light, and I kind of love it. So sometimes learning from the professional, the team, their advice may be a good idea because maybe they can see better how this goes in high fashions. So I was always to ask people like, is that like what do you think? I want to listen some like advice from the people who have more experience. I think that really helps you.
What are some other things you've learned now that you've been on numerous shoots and really into this career that you've learned that maybe you didn't know in the beginning?
Yeah, I think treating everyone like really nice is really important because for the big magazines, they are involved a lot of like people, makeup artists, the stylists, hair artists, and the retouchers and the people assistant. I feel like we want everyone to be really nice, like without any attitude. So you build a good reputation, so your client wants to work with you next time instead of being late for 30 minutes or trying to argue to you. A lot of people think like model industry is kind of like that, but it's not. Sometimes like we go to the fashion show, they have no attitude policy, which is you have to be on time and try to be nice. And I kind of really like that environment. Like right now, it's really healthy, and everyone there try to respect each other, and I think that's really important.
I read that you also were an intern for Fashion Week. How did the internship kind of propel your career along as well?
Yes, I got an internship when I was, I think, freshman or sophomore. Is one of my friends, like he was work in China, and then in the beginning it's the China like the Fashion Week, but he was also work in New York, and then that is the first internship I was involved in. So they introduced like what's some like job in fashion industry, model, designer, stylist, is the like this kind of things, and then you decided which one do you really want it to be like in your life. And then he introduced like how does fashion show works, like where to show, and from the beginning to the end, like how to talk to stage manager and all this thing. I think that really helps like in the beginning when I into the modeling career, because before I was thinking become more like a lawyer, and later on I feel if you learn more about this professional field, about what you're really doing, sometimes give you inspiration. Maybe this is what you really want to do. Yes.
So how have you grown your business using social media, or what other tools have you used to keep your career growing?
I use calendars and some like a journal. I keep track every day of my life. I will write down like what to do today and what my short term goal and the long term goal. And I think that's like really helps. I was trying to do this thing since I was like a middle school. So I will write. So when I was like middle school, I was right. I want to go to the fashion week. I want to what? But in that time, I was still in China. I was never think about like that will become true. But that is the time I write it down, and then you kind of never know. So you have keep that dream in your mind and always like looking forward, like but stay positive. I think that's really helps. Yes.
Yeah. How did that feel then to look back and know that you'd written that down years ago and then you made it come true?
Feels like, oh my god, amazing, just like did I really make that? And but another thing is if you have a bigger goal, you break it down to the small step and put that things every day. It actually keep you track your things, you know where you're going. Yes.
Yeah. You're also very driven. Does that come from your family early on, or where did that drive come from?
Yes, I think that part of from my family. My mom is a typical, call it in China, we call it tiger mom. Is like no matter what I'm doing, she will never satisfy. I remember when I was got the championship for the basketball, she just told me, "Okay, what next?" And just like no matter how excellent you did, they were never satisfied. But this is probably how they express love or something. But that one just like really push you to become better of yourself. And I think like my mom is also like really like a motivated person, like business person, so she really self-disciplined herself, so she changed herself as a role models to me. So when I saw her, I think, oh, my mom's still really working so hard, I should try harder. And that like just what I'm feeling about, they really inspire me. Yes.
Do you feel any of like that drive that you had when you were on the basketball court and that competitive, go get it attitude? Does that correlate or come over to your modeling career?
Yes. So I feel kind of like easier when you suffer something like a like bigger test, when you conquer the basketball thing, and then go to the law thing, debate competition, and then you're back to modeling things, and you apply this feeling or skill to the modeling career. I feel I have like a more stronger heart. Like I can stay stable if someone, they have criticized or bad words under a comment. It will be really normal. And I feel like stay like strong in your heart is like really important. Yeah.
Yeah. And then how about so like you said, you had all these different career paths where you thought maybe you would maybe go being a lawyer, and then you went and studied at Penn State. How do you just, for people to just kind of stay open and kind of be open to what the universe brings into your life? Because it took you on a whole other direction than you thought you were going to go for a while there.
Yes. So in the beginning, I was like in a debate club. I thought I would become a lawyer. I tried a lot of debate competitions, and then one day I realized this is probably not the thing that I'm going to spend like 30 years for. Because what I learned is, if you join a career, is I wanted to focus on one field for probably my entire life. So making decision is like really important. One day I asked myself, is this lawyer or debate thing is something I will passionate for 30 years? And then I told myself, probably not. Is I can do it, but it's a lot of work, and I don't want to too much debating. And then you're back to life. You start become a little bit aggressive when I'm talking to my mother friends. And then I asked myself, what do you want to do? I think I really love fashion. This is something I can spend 30 years and I would not get tired of it. And I want to build something, nice things. And so actually I make a deal with my mom. When I started that, I told her, give me 2 years. If I cannot like make some achievement, I will back to my lawyer things. And with these 2 years, I did something. So she started agreeing with me to continue what I'm doing right now.
That's great. Putting that limit on it, did that really drive you to like, okay, I have 2 years. I'm going to try to make this happen and really give it my all.
Yes, exactly. It's like if like 2 years didn't finish, you have to grade up your dreams, kind of feeling. Yes.
And you always had this like flair for fashion since you were a young girl.
Yes, I love to watch the fashion show with my granny, and I say, see this look, they're running and wear this clothes. And I remember when I was a child, I was cutting my mom's pillow and turning to a dress and like stuff. Or put some inks on some the papers and become a dress. And but they're really sporty. They said, oh, that's creative, even though yeah. So I think, yeah, that's really funny.
And how has your own like fashion style evolved over the years?
Yes, that's a really good question. So there's a lot of things to tell. When I was in high school, I really love this brick oven of white, and like this black white, this theme when you were like a freshman or a teenager like that. And I was really going in that, like all my clothes, the clothes is black white. And then one day I got a little bit tired about it. I think after when I started modeling the career, because when you shoot some magazine, they want some color contrast. And then I got a lot of clothes that would be super like neon color, like something I would never try before. And that changed. So later on, I was slowly from this brick oven of white become something really colorful. And it is like so different. Yeah. And I think that's big, like a transitions. Yeah. And that's my friend, like somebody, oh my God, Amber, you just changed your style completely. Where's the black and white?
That's fun. Yeah. I saw that lime green cover that you had, and it was just gorgeous. Spectacular.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, besides the modeling, you also at 19 were the CEO of your own business. Tell us about that.
Yes, I was always want to build the company. So I think that's like in the right year doing right things. When I was a freshman, I was studying the business of administration and management, and also marketing. So I have a triple major: business management and marketing, as well entrepreneurship. So the first year, education is really nice. The school provide us $1,000, and then like you to provide to establish your own business. And you have 4 people become a group, And so we starting to selling fleece jackets, and then we earn like 6,000, from 1,000 to 6,000, and we got the pretty good like sales in the homework. And later on decided I wanted to like drop out of school for a year and to practice something bigger. And I just drop it. And also like the gap year in the United States kind of like really common. You can talk to this. And then I decided to go back to China and start this English training things. And I applied all my skill that I learned in the freshman year to the real business. And I think that's amazing time like in my life. It's just amazing homework. Yes, yeah. In the reality. And later down, I figured, oh, I still have to back to my school. I have to finish it because otherwise, the reality is you have to get a degree and finish it. So I back there and finished thing, and then COVID started. Yes.
That's great. I love how just intelligent and driven you are. So you took your skills from school, and then you were teaching. These were English language skills or schools. Is that what the company was?
Yes. It's like help the student like to learning English in China, and because sometimes English like you learn in it's like the difference when you actually order Starbucks. So what I found most useful, the lessons I like just arrived in the United States, is how to order Starbucks. That's something you won't find like in the book, but it really works. I was teaching some more like Carol things, something you can actually use. How to order a McDonald's, how to order a Starbucks, and how to tell a joke.
What's a joke you told? Is there a joke?
Not really, but I would tell them stories, American history, like let them know about more culture than just learning the basic words. Yeah, so you can actually have a conversation with people, not just, hey, how are you? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I love everything that you do. You just do so much. All right, I'm going to turn here for a second here and want to do a fun little, we're going to call this Tom girl talk, because you are so, iconic in the fashion and industry. I want to have you give the listeners maybe some tips, some things that you've found along the way. So first I want to ask you to talk about your own skincare and beauty routines, or your favorite beauty products and gadgets.
Yeah, that's actually a good question, because sometimes I use something different. I like the skin this routine. They call it 7 layers of skincare, which is they usually in Korean they use the toner to put the waters on your face. So they put 7 layers. They just you put in the pad, and then like to moisturize, and then you put 7 times and actually really moisturize. And after that, you use some moistures, and then your skin become really like glowing and shining, like because already absorbed enough waters. And another thing, I think my favorite product is Harper oil. It's HABA oil. It's kind of oil that help you to like balance your skin. I think I can live. I cannot live without it. It's just so amazing. Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. How about your favorite workout routine?
Favorite workout routine, I like to do this, what do you call sit up on the bed. So the bed is like this, right? And then I have like lay on the ground, have like my legs on the bed. And then I was doing that in the morning. It actually really works, because you're like not every day you have to go to the gym because you get prepared go to the gym. If you're just wake up, you can just do that, and that really works. You can do anywhere.
All right, good one.
So fun.
All right, tips for looking your best for photo shoots, as far as like maybe what you do the day before and what you do the day of.
Yes, put a lot of ice on your face before shooting. This is what I'm doing, because they can remove the poofness and all the things. Put a lot of ice like on your face, like just for a minute, and then remove it. It's like really helps. And don't eat a lot of like food contain a lot of sodium, because next day you go. And yeah, just stay like eating healthy before the day you shoot. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How do you work the angles to the camera? Like either whether it's even on a shoot or selfies?
Oh, angles. The first thing is you need to give your phone and take a video like this 360, and then you try to see yourself from the video and to see which angle you feel most like amazing like for yourself, and then you're always taking that angle so you know exactly which angle you looks good or which angle you're looking not good. So that's, you can try it at home like this and then you will figure it out.
All righty. Okay. Fashion tips, items of clothing you like, or how somebody would go about finding like their style.
I highly recommend to look the Vogue Runway. So Vogue Runway is an app and or a website. They are content all the runway show from 1995 to nowadays. Each show have all the looks. So I will look the thing and become idea inspiration to see what I'm going to wear, and yeah, that's amazing tool.
Okay, awesome. And where great places to shop for clothes that you like?
Shop to the clothes. Nordstrom Rack. That's a secret. Yeah, because they have amazing design clothes, but also like have lower price, which is amazing. Yeah, only for fun. Yes,
All right,
yes.
perfect. Thank you for giving us those insights. Now, for those who want to follow in your footsteps and have dreams of becoming a model, what are some business tips and tools that you can recommend for them?
Models.com is definitely the thing that can help you to prevent like scam agency or something. They're just all the agency they're verified. If you get some like emails from like someone they wanted to recruit you, check their agency on model.com. That's like model.com. That's really important. And also like ask yourself like how long you want to be modeling in your life. That's actually a really important question, because that's going to driving you. Is instead of you just doing 2 or 3 days you give up, that's not going to work. Is trade modeling like a really serious business, like go 100%, show up like certain minutes before you have a shooting or a climb, and yeah, I think that's really important.
How do you use social media for marketing, or what are other marketing tools that you use?
Yeah, the social media is a really nice tool. Like you can network with people, some makeup artists and photographer. And I was building my social media in the beginning. It's like a modeling portfolio, and then it's really important. You're always updating your new look and treat the Instagram as like your portfolio. Then it just the work the best. Yes.
Now, do you go after your own work, or do you rely on your agency to get jobs for you, or is it a mixture of both?
I think both is if you only rely on agency, and they also have other model, they can't like 100% on you. So you have to work hard, and also like agency will give you some work, but also you have to work out by yourself a little bit. Like, yeah.
Are there any things not to do?
Now to do is if someone they ask you to pay like before start an agency, don't trust it, because if you start an agency you don't need to pay for them. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Great tips.
Great tip.
Now, I also read, we talk a little bit about adventure here too. And I know that you're a big adventure fan and you love Puerto Rico. So tell me what you love about Puerto Rico and why.
Yes, I actually did most of the crazy things in my life in Puerto Rico. It's during the COVID. I went to Puerto Rico and I was jumping from this really high cliff. I think it's like 10 meters, and I was up, and that just like so crazy. I feel that is the moment that I can never forget. And yeah, the food, the town is good for photo shoot. And it's just so amazing when you go there. Yes.
Yeah. Where, if somebody was going to go there, are there places that you would recommend they go, or foods they try? What would be your travel tips?
Yeah, the old town San Juan, and the local food is like definitely to try, and you need to learn a bit Spanish. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. So what is next for you? I know you're also doing some acting these days as well. Tell us what you're doing now.
Yes, I have a movie coming like next year. Is I think next year June. It's called Models Wanted. Is a kind of like a mysterious movies, and they will show on the what is it called Amazon Prime and Apple TV, etc. And I think I want to do more runway and maybe different type of movie in the futures. This is what I want to focus next year's.
Yeah. You liking the
Mhm.
acting?
Yeah, it's like different. I feel now I can like between modeling and acting, so I can make my schedule really packed and also have a little bit balance. If you do all the modeling and then sometimes you want a little bit break to the acting,
Yeah.
and then you always do acting, you did a little bit break for the. It's kind of nice. They're combined together, which is it's more
Yeah,
fun.
probably a great balance. The acting, you could actually, speak and have more character involvement, but then sometimes it's nice to just probably just model and just give them the looks that they want.
Yes, and sometimes the modeling they're looking for some like story eyes. Like when you take the picture, you wanted the picture telling a story, and that's like the movie thing like do. So they can go like balance each other. So I think this is good.
Yeah. Has the acting
Yeah.
helped you to create different stories now in your mind when you are modeling?
Yeah. So when they're looking for some like sad thing, then I'm just like, it's just like suddenly the emotions there. It's like, oh my god, stay there, the picture it is, and then just like that. Yeah, so funny.
Well,
Mhm.
I can't wait to see what's all next for you. You've just had such an amazing career so far. And like your pictures are just stunning and you're just gorgeous and such a wonderful, positive influence and with such a great attitude.
You too. So nice to talk to you.
Oh, thank you. Well,
Mhm.
where can everybody find your photos? Where can they follow your career?
Google me and my Instagram. Yes, is my mainly like put the things. Yeah.
So go to Instagram for that.
Yes, 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 yes. Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You're such a pleasure. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank you. Mhm.
All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. You can follow us everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we'll see you here again next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.